One, you can see 3 familiar faces in front of you, so that can only mean one thing. It is time for the next episode of What Happened Was. That is right. You see the lovely Jeffrey Emmett to my left, your right.
I'm kind of lovely.
Oh, you are lovely. And the even more lovely Katrina A Johnson from Nickelodeon's All That, also recently featured on TMZ, whose birthday month it was just, or still is, just over. We're just past.
It's still, we're wrapping up birth
We're wrapping
season.
up. Okay, the birthday season. So how has the birthday season been, Kat?
It has been amazing. Started off with a girls' trip to Hawaii. You might have seen me fall off the hammock. That was there.
If you're a watcher of UCR Live, you would have seen Kat's backflip. If not, jump over to UCR Live or check out our TikTok.
Maybe you should have been the Power Ranger.
Oh,
Yeah,
because
right.
I can do flippity flops.
Yeah.
I think Power Rangers are more graceful, but you know, hey, I'll take it. Saban, if you're hiring, holla at your girl.
Are they always hiring?
I think so.
They're always always spin-offs.
Yeah. So birthday trip to Hawaii, came home, yacht party, dinner party, white party, looking like P. Diddy in 2000. I made all the girls wear all white, but I just feel like it looks good in the photos. You know, when you're all white on the yacht, it's good. And then what else? Oh, then I went to work and I took a very famous businessman who has created a really cool entertainment company that I know you know of, but I'm not allowed to say who it is. But it involves, if you know what I mean, took him to New York right when the company went public and got to see him ring the bell on the stock exchange. Ding, 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 ding. And then came back, had some Cinco de Mayo action, and I think I must have gone through, for the one yacht party, we went through 8 cases of champagne. In Hawaii, we went through, I think, 4 cases. So we probably through this birth season went through about 15 cases of champagne. So now I'm on a diet.
She's still kicking, ladies and gentlemen. She's still kicking. Jeffrey, how are you? I feel like we haven't checked in with you since last week. So how are you doing?
Well, we're having lots of internet problems over here, and I'm very angry with Nomad Internet. They're shit.
Oh, okay.
Don't do it.
Name and shame.
Well, it looks like you're in jail with that brick wall back there. Is that why? I heard inmates get internet now.
Listen.
I know because they hit me up on Instagram. You might see it in my inbox.
Look, she got some mail from fans.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, how do you have the internet? You're in jail?
They're sneaking phones in their assholes.
Yeah.
So
hey, and if
there's got to be a better way.
If you do have a phone in your asshole, follow us on Instagram and Twitter. If you got a phone in your ass, you know, you can do it. You can make that happen.
So, or even if you just got an old school pager, that'll work too. Any kind of signal.
Any kind of signal that will set it on vibrate, and it'll be a good time for us all.
Call me, beat me when you need to reach me.
So, Kat, I found this video in favor of your birthday because it sounds like you had a great time, but these people didn't have such a good time. So let's enjoy.
Megan, stop! Megan, stop! Megan, come on. Shit! Guys! Oh, fuck.
Blow it! Get it! Get it!
Big blow.
Get it, KK! Blow it! Get
Can you blow the candles, man?
Blow the candles. Watch out! Oh, jeez.
Oh, happy birthday to you. Blow it out.
Happy birthday to you. They got the fire.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sophia. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Daze. Oh, shit.
I tried to keep it cute, but there are so many videos of people getting caught on fire from silly string next to a cake. They're like, ah! And then there's like 5-year-old kids going up in flames, running around the room. It's just like, oh,
And you didn't
look.
get those?
I was like, oh, questionable
send them.
taste.
You need to send
I
them
know,
to
right?
Jeffrey so he can have a flashback to his babysitting days.
I never set a kid on fire, thank you.
I
No, I know,
allegedly.
but I'm just saying, like, you might have wanted to.
Yeah, there's a
It
few
was,
of them.
that's all. Like, it'll
There's
take you back to
definitely
those
prob-
times, you know.
There's definitely probably a few. So talking about going way back in the Wayback Machine, because we like to do that. Today's episode, we're going to flash ourselves right back to our high school and college years. Jump right back in the machine, kids, because the reason I bring this up is I was teaching one of my dance classes recently, and they said, blah, 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 high school. When did you graduate high school? And I was like, bitch, you want to know? You want to know when I graduated high school?
1997.
This was a new song. As we grow up, we remember all the times we had together. Yeah, man. Class of 2000, I was. Oh,
So wait, are you 40?
no, I'm 38. I was young. High school.
Oh,
I wasn't
my God.
8.
I'm the baby on the panel.
So yes,
Ew.
I was 17 in our year 12. I was like, oh, but yeah, they asked me about it, and then see recently, well, not recently, it would have been my 20-year reunion last year, but COVID, damn. But it took me back to my high school. I think it was our 15-year high school reunion, because that's when Facebook was like all the rage, and somehow people found me and they're like, hey, come to the reunion. I posted this GIF and then left the group. So it says, we need to tell everyone I said, fuck themselves to make my teen year a living hell. Had the booty for the win.
That's
Left the
hilarious.
group, ghosted. I'm like, fuck these people, man.
Bye.
I see the people that I want to. I have a lovely handful of friends from high school that I still see, but everyone else can go fuck. Like, I hate that. Well, you guys would get that. You're like, oh, these people that I've known from childhood who now want to all of a sudden reach out. You're like, no.
At least there is.
you were a horrible cunt of a person, and I don't want to talk to you. So it's
Girl
just like,
needs to return that laptop.
Right. Well, I didn't go to high school.
Exactly.
I mean,
So this is why I thought it'd be an interesting conversation to have to start with, because you didn't go to high school because girl was working. So
right.
I went to a performing arts high school,
That sounds fun.
and Jeffrey went to a Catholic high school. Oh, so I'm sure there's many interesting things. So
Mhm.
I think we're going to start with Jeffrey. Talk to us about the Catholic high school experience.
So I didn't have any nuns, but when Woodstock and I went to go take our entrance exam because it was an academy. There was a head lady or head mistress, Mamarilla.
That's a fake
What?
name. No way.
I swear to God. Yeah.
Please
head
tell me
mistress.
she had huge boobs.
No, she was this short little, like the 80s dyke, tight, curly, feathered hair thing going on, and she
Glasses?
had like and she had the coat with like the black faux on it. It was a hot mess, So we get there, we go to this open house. There's all of like 17 kids in the school.
Oh.
Yeah. So we get in, we go. The first year was actually really fun. We got away with murder because there was more. There wasn't enough teachers, right? And
what town was this in?
It was in Auburn. Half of them didn't have degrees.
What?
Like for teaching? Yeah, you don't have to because it wasn't a New York State accredited high school. Come to find out, the Spanish teacher's qualifications were he spent a semester in Puerto Rico. Okay, this motherfucker. We would go in. He didn't even know what he was assigned for homework. He didn't have a lesson plan. Like, he was just winging shit as we went along. And he taught history one year, too. And then we had this old guy, Guido, who taught, we had to take 2 years of Latin. He taught Latin, and he was a chain smoker. And he'd be like, I need to go get my cigarettes. So at 16, I was going buying the teacher cigarettes. He would let me drive his car because I was the only one in the school or whatever in that class that had a license. And I'd go get him cigarettes at the corner store and come back.
I feel like that should be illegal, but I like it.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Yeah, right.
Right. The last year I was there, the one teacher would actually go outside and smoke cigarettes with me because shit was not good. Yeah, it was crazy. People would be sneaking upstairs to the gym that was like a chapel, and they'd be having sex. They were having sex in the basement. And then the head priest, he was a good guy.
Wait. All boys school, right?
No.
No? I thought you said a boys school. I was like,
but when they found out I was gay, the one teacher, this little short thing, who I'm pretty sure was a lesbian, definitely like had my mom come in for a meeting and was trying to send me to an all boys school in Buffalo. And I was like, where do I sign up? I'm like, Mom, let's do this. Right?
I have a few questions.
Yeah, I already knew my mother was like, fuck you, bitch. My kid's not going, she wasn't having it. But I was like, I don't know.
Of course.
Okay.
Let me get on my knees and do my motherfucking part.
I need to know why there weren't any nuns, but there was a priest. That doesn't seem fair.
He was the one running the school. He would have been a great politician because that motherfucker will go around getting money from rich people, and he kept that school going. But so we'd have to go to confession. So listen, and I got into a huge fight on like the Auburn newspaper because that high school I went to is now like gonna have like an elementary school, and I was like, oh Jesus, people were saying things, and I'm like, the priest used to ask us in confession, do you guys masturbate with animals?
What?
Yeah. He'd be like, do you masturbate?
With animals?
Yeah, but first he'd say, do you masturbate? And then he'd be like, do you masturbate with animals? And we're all walking out of confession looking like, did he just ask you if you masturbate with animals? So I just happened to post that because I'm like, it is how many years later? And he would say, I got to ask you monkeys because you're not going to tell me the truth. So, right. But now, could you imagine a priest asking a teenager that, or even just asking them if they masturbate? Like,
I don't even know how that works.
Right.
What?
So yeah, I got
how
called
do you
out.
even
Like
do that?
the one dude.
Whoa! Like,
Yeah.
is this like
I
I've
don't
seen
know.
TV shows where the kids use a stuffed animal?
None of us even knew. None of us knew.
With an animal implies that it's kind of assisting the process, right?
Right.
He's asking if you're
have so
fucking
many
dogs and
questions.
cats. Is that
Is
what
this a live animal? Is this a stuffed animal?
Like he
How
asked a bunch of
involved
us that.
Is this?
So listen, the dude whose grandmother was the principal for a while after the mistress left, because we ended up never having her. I loved the woman. She was a saint. Him and I apparently have some different opinions. He basically said that I was rewriting history, making up a salacious rumor. So of course I went on, and I don't really keeping tabs with many people, but I sure did message their ass, and I was like, do you remember Father Shaman asking us if we masturbate and if we masturbate with animals? And they were like, yep. And I was like sending them what Andy said. Oh, hell yeah. And I screenshotted what they said just in case, bitches. I'm like, just in case. I got proof. Fuck y'all.
Receipts,
Jeffrey
receipts,
with the
receipts.
receipts.
And then one of the bitches who I was actually real close with, she was like a hoe. She was like having sex, smoking pot and shit in high school. And she is now like, she found God, but she stole some other lady's husband and had a kid out of wedlock and shit. But now she found Jesus, and she was like,
So she found God, but put him on layaway.
yeah, and she like tried to throw some shade at me, and her sister was like, he never asked me that. And I'm like, bitches, all right, I got you, don't worry. Like, yeah, keep fucking other men's husbands, bitch.
Oops. Okay, so with all of these people that were humping up high and down low in the basement and on behind the bleachers and whatever, were there any like high school pregnancies?
No,
In the
'cause
Catholic
they probably
school?
got an abortion.
Or did they get sent away to visit an aunt or something like that?
girls'
There was a
school
big shit. Well,
somewhere.
because so the school had just switched the year we started to an A and B day. So we had like 4 classes a day. That was it. And they were like, you know, huge long. 2 of our classes were study halls. Like, so each day we had a study hall that was like 80 something minutes long.
Oh, so people will go stupid out.
So
in
yeah,
the
it was a
study-
free-for-all because they couldn't
Study
keep track
hall.
of us because there was only like 3 or 4 teachers and they were teaching the other classes. So we'd be up in there. We were all over the fucking place. They had no clue what we were doing. None.
Well,
Oh,
they
and
know
then
now.
we moved to another building and didn't have a gym. So we'd have to like get in a van and go drive across town and go to this like Christian play. That school, it really. And the
Were there any
teachers,
cheerleaders?
no, we did have a sport, field hockey. That was it.
Field hockey, okay.
Yeah, it was a mess. And
Any
the
prom?
teachers weren't
Do you have
qualified.
dances? Religious schools are weird about dances.
No, we had our first prom. We had to fight for it.
Uh-huh.
So and they never really had enough kids. Like that year, my freshman year, there was 1 senior.
What?
There was 1 junior. Yeah.
Stop.
And then the second year, there was 2 seniors. Since the principal's granddaughter came because she was getting some trouble. Rest in peace, Katie. Oh yeah. The scandal at that place, man. And the teachers weren't qualified to teach. So like, Woodstock and I are sitting in math class, and this chick is doing like course 1 math or whatever. And we'd already taken it middle school, or almost or whatever. I don't like the step down whatever. And she says, okay, so if you want to figure out the percentage, and she's like, you put this number here, this number down here, and this, we're like, is over of equals percent over 100. She's like, oh, that's actually really smart.
Oh dear.
No qualifications to be teaching math, bitch. None.
You know, as there are some friends of mine, some very, very close, dear, fun, train wreck friends of mine that are teachers. And can I just tell you that to teach in a private school, even to this day, you don't really have to have
You just need like a
anything. If
bachelor's
it's a
and
privately
everything.
funded school, you don't have to have anything because that's the storyline on Riverdale this
any
year.
kind of degree. They're like, well, that's cool. You used to be a flight attendant, cool. You used to work on the stock exchange, cool. You don't have a driver's license, cool. You just got out of rehab, yeah.
And then we had the 1 teacher. So there was 2 teachers that lived together, would drive like an hour away, or they lived an hour away. They made at the time, I think it was like $700 a month. And they had to give 10% of their income to the Catholic Church because that's what you were supposed to do.
Tithe.
Right. And the one would come in like, they would thrifty shop all their outfits. And the one would come in like bridesmaids dresses or prom dresses all the time. And like those were her outfits that she would wear. And it'd be like the 80s big, like, what's the one with, what's her fuck?
Breakfast Club?
No, not Never. Is it Never Been Kissed? Yeah, Never Been Kissed. Where the dude
Not
gets out of the
Jokey
limo
Grothy anymore.
and throws the egg at her, and she's in the pink dress. Like she would wear shit like that to school, like to teach us. So her and the other broad, wait for it. So she had this picture of this Luisa Picaretta, okay, who I guess was kind of like, it's a cult thing, or was. I don't know what it is now. It's been 20 years. I don't care. But at the time, it was really controversial, and like the Catholic Church had some big problems with this bitch, and it was not cool. Well, they had like been talking her up, and then one of the kids had said something to the priest, and he like bugged out. The one chick ended up getting fired that year because they were like worshiping a false idol or shit. Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, Jeff, that's more interesting than I thought
would
it was
get
going to
real
be.
fired from a Catholic school.
Yeah. Oh,
Not
but
a private one.
The last year was the best year when my friend Missy and I were dating the same guy. But he was dating me first, and I got him into our school because he was troubled. He's the one that went to prison. My ex that went to prison for 10 years. Yeah. He was dating both of us. He definitely in the hallway screamed like, "Keep fucking talking. I'll tell everybody you like to suck dick." So that's how I was outed.
He said that to you, or
He screamed it as he was walking down the hallway in the school.
okay?
And I was like,
you know.
because I was sucking his dick, right?
I
So
know,
I'm
but
like,
he just incriminated
but
himself.
I know.
Hello,
but
you dumbass.
I know.
Like, if you're gonna insult somebody, don't insult
we're-
yourself at the
We're
same
forgetting
time.
teenagers aren't smart. We're forgetting that teenagers aren't smart.
So I screamed back at him. Yeah, it was your dick, buddy. And then there was like a whole big school meeting. It was intense.
This is so juicy.
Yeah. High school was fun. The first 2 years was a good time. Junior year was bad, and that's when I was like, I'm out.
Well, how many were in your junior class?
6. Woodstock being one of them.
Oh my
And then
God.
the school almost got sued over him because when he came out, there was a whole big thing. The teacher was telling him he was going to hell. It was crazy. It was crazy. And then Woodstock, he tried to kill himself in 10th grade.
Oh my
So
God.
we had it because him and this other girl started all this drama with the whole school where everybody was like fighting. We were throwing shit. So they dragged us all into the one room. And they're like, what the hell went on? So each one of us is telling our story. And of course, doesn't it all at the end of the day go back to Mike started all this shit? Because that motherfucker had been doing it my whole life, bitch. You think I would have known to keep him away from my husband, right?
The drama of Jeffrey.
Yeah,
maybe that's the pilot you should write, Jeff.
Mhm.
Maybe that's the pilot. You never know.
Jeffrey is
Because
a reality show.
I need to ask, have you guys seen, there's 2 shows that I think at the moment that fucking absolutely nail like being a teenager in the late 90s. Well, one of them specifically said, have you guys seen Pen 15?
No.
Okay, so Pen 15 stars these 2 lovely ladies here. But they play themselves as high school freshmen. So they look like this.
Oh my gosh.
It is amazing. The rest of the cast is actual proper age. So they're high school freshmen. It's amazing. Like
it.
they come. Oh, it is so inappropriate. They've got it listed as cringe comedy because it's all about being a teenager. So Maya, the Asian one, gets obsessed with masturbation. So, and she's just constantly flicking the bean for an entire episode, and the ghost of her grandfather watches her and stuff like this, and she freaks out. And they get like periods and first dates and all that kind of stuff. It's so good, but it is also so real. Like one of the girls their parents go through a divorce. It's funny and it's cringy, but it also just makes you go, oh, I remember being having those feelings. And please tell me you guys have watched
But
Big Mouth.
did you use a stuffed animal?
No.
Or an animal?
Have you guys seen Big Mouth?
No.
No.
Oh my fucking Lord. So funny. So inappropriate. So again, high school freshmen, and they're discovering their hormones, and as they mature, they get their own hormone monsters. Maya Rudolph is one of them. So hilarious, so inappropriate. There's an episode where one of the girls gets her period the first time they go they go to the Statue of Liberty, and the Statue of Liberty is like, "Girl, you are bleeding. Welcome to being a woman." And starts smoking. And then they go to camp and she wears a pad for the first time, and like she has this vision that the pad like soaks up the whole lake and starts to
Oh no.
it's so inappropriate, but they're doing really great things because one of the characters is actually a trans teenager, and it shows that whole thing too. So if you it made me go, "Oh, I remember those feelings." That's super awkward. Because if you ever want to check out Pen 15. They've only got 2 seasons so far, but Big Mouth is going into its 5th. If you just want to sit there and go, "Oh God, awkwardness," it's good. It's a good show to have a drink and a laugh to. Both
If you want to feel really awkward, watch it with your parents.
Oh, you couldn't. I don't think you could watch Pen 15 with anyone because she's like it's not okay.
Well, my dad's a pastor, so that wouldn't work.
Yeah, I don't think you'll be watching it with your parents.
I don't think I'm going to be watching anything with mine because I definitely sent Joyce flyers for coffins for Mother's Day, so I didn't put a return address because I don't want her to have it, but I'm just saying.
Jeffrey, you
Happy
naughty
Mother's Day,
boy. All right, Miss Cat. So you're the opposite side of the spectrum, really, because when everyone else was at high school, girl was working. Girl was at it. So tell us about your little on-set life that played out.
Okay, well, I had a tutor, so I could go through my classes as fast as I wanted, right? I didn't have to wait for the other kids to catch up because I was the only kid in my class. So I went to this school called Laurel Springs, and it was for industry kids. And it was basically kind of like what you would call today like online learning. Like you could just teach yourself. So it was designed for you to take it with you on the set. And you would have actual teachers that you would just sort of interact with, that you would like email or call. You could talk to your teachers if you wanted, but pretty much the curriculum was so that you could self-teach and go through as fast as you want. So I skipped 2 grades and I did 2 years worth of work in 1 year. So I graduated high school at 15.
All this while working on a hugely popular TV show, mind you.
Yes. So we would do school Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then go to work, like school on the set in a trailer. We'd have our own teacher. We'd go as fast as we wanted. And then Thursday and Friday, we would film all day long. Thursday, we would film anything with stunts or anything that was more difficult. And Friday, we would film in front of a live audience. And then Saturday, we would come back and do a full long double day of school. So we were on 6 days a week. And we would do school for half of the day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then all day Saturday. And then Sunday, we would go to church and sleep. Sometimes I'd sleep for
Sunday's pass out day, right? Yeah.
Crazy, a long time. But I mean, we didn't really have any school, but I didn't anyway, because by the time I would have gotten back to school, I was already done. So I started college at 15, and that was crazy because
that's insane.
And I looked at 15 years old, I looked 10, 11, maybe 12. So I'm in school.
Tapes. Which season are we talking? We'll be able to see.
Look, the last season.
There we go.
I had a body, but I was still little. Like I didn't look 18. I didn't look 20. There were some older people in my classes. I definitely didn't look like them. So I kind of just went really slow for the first few years and just I was a video hoe. I did music videos for a living.
Girl.
The first few years. I think I did 50, maybe a couple more, but I did a lot of music videos in that time. And that was my spending money. And I remember my first time I went to a class with classroom full of people. I hadn't been in a regular school in, I think I left school 7th grade. So like junior
So you
high.
skipped all that awkward stuff, and it was happening for real life in front of cameras for you.
Well, yeah, I mean, I did love, let me tell you, I didn't skip any of the awkward. I lived it in front of everyone. And so I went through all that stuff. It was really embarrassing. And I went through puberty on the air, and I was fat, and then I wasn't. And like nothing would kind of make the network happy. Like,
And of course, that would happen between seasons, right? So you'd come
Yeah.
back and be like, "Who's this girl?"
yeah, so I was chubby because I was going through puberty. Nothing I could do about it. I was like 13, 14, chubby little thing. And they were like, stop eating. We already have a fat one. You can't be the fat one. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you. It's just what an adolescent needs to hear. Thank you so much. And so I would work out all day on my days off. I was a dancer. I would dance. You know how good that is for you. But, you know, I was just chubby. There's nothing I could do about it. And then between season 2 and 3, I come back and I'm all skinny and like have a dancer body. And they were like, what the fuck happened to you? You have boobs. We need to duct tape those things down. And they duct taped down the boobs. They ace bandaged me down and made me look,
Oh,
you know,
Jesus.
10 again. So it was
Oh,
like,
God.
first I was too young, and then I was too old. I was too fat, then I was too skinny. I was all these things. But then in school, when I finally got to school, I was too young. I was a baby. I was this, I was that. But like, I just came from over here where you tell me I'm too old and you're duct taping down my boobs. And then I go into actual real life and I look like freaking Doogie Howser. Like, I looked like a teeny tiny little baby. So it was interesting.
Yeah,
was,
of course.
One of the classes in college I took, my favorite class, I took it like 3 times, was stand-up comedy. And
Woo! I can't
was,
believe that's a class in American college.
oh, it's a class.
What?
Welcome to America. I was too young to go up on stage because I was 16. I wasn't old enough to get into the club, but I managed.
She's a sneaky girl. She has her ways. Yeah, look, that's exactly what I was thinking, because you missed out on that like interpersonal cringe with like, you know, your classmates knowing your business when the whole world got to know your business.
But
yeah,
and I
castmates.
missed out on the fun stuff. Like,
yeah,
my family, all of the women were the homecoming queen or the prom queen. I didn't get to do any of that.
Aww.
you just had to wait and hope it was a storyline on the show, right? Like, can we
And
do
it
a
never
school
was,
dance?
not for me.
Can we do a
That
school
was-
dance?
That was for the prettier ones. I was not the pretty one. I was the baby. I was the
You're
funny
just
one. I
doing,
was
you're
not.
doing all the random naughty shit. I remember it well.
Mhm.
Well, yeah. So I went to a performing arts high school. What?
Oh, yeah.
But
They would have been okay with the gays there.
Well,
I would think.
you would think. You would think.
What?
So
You
it
weren't on your
was.
knees?
No, I was a good boy in high school. Oh well.
In high
I was a good boy. I wasn't a nice boy, but I was a good boy.
You were a mean
So-
girl.
I was a mean girl. I was.
Oh.
I can tell you some stories.
Tell us.
I got
So
all night.
I went. Yeah.
What
I,
happened was-
the high school that I went to. Yes, became the first. I think the year before I was there, it officially became, or the 2 years before, it officially became Newcastle's Performing Arts High School. But it was still a feeder school for the suburbs around it. So you had these people that were auditioning to get in, but you also had randoms that would just get into the school because it was the closest high school. That no longer happens anymore.
Good,
So you've
that
got
shouldn't happen.
full on proper performing, like kids that are like, yeah, let's dance, let's sing. And there's, of course, random straighties. Random straighties. So there's a lot of faggot, all that kind of stuff going on at the Performing Arts High School back in the day.
What was the ratio of randos to the performers?
Look, I think the performing, it would have probably been like, I think a little more than half of us were performing arts students.
Oh, that's a big amount of randos.
Yeah. So it was a back in my day, it was a big amount of randos.
How can they even call it a performing arts school?
Because it got budgeted as one. Like this is like it was the progression of. So yeah, from my primary school, there was about 12 people that auditioned. 2 people got in. Me and the female school captain. We were both school captains, so we both got into the school. I know, hello. Oh, it was only because I got a really funny part in the school musical and people voted for me. So, popularity, baby. I live. So I started out my high school career as a dancer. I was going to be a dancer. I would be dancing. What do? I just dance.
Fabulous.
I dance. So, of course, I was with the Mean Girls to start with, right?
Did the rando kids have to sing and dance also?
Yes, they also had to do that.
Ah!
Yeah. So they divided us into different groups. Like so I was 7 indigo. Ooh, indigo, they're all colors. So indigo and orange were the dance classes, like the dance performing arts classes, mainly dance. I think there was a solely music class, a solely drama class, but everyone did everything. So I was the only boy in my class of 20 girls. 20 so girls, yeah? So that was fine. The other class had 2 boys in it. So 7 orange had 2 boys in it. So they decided about halfway through term 1 to move me from my class to another class.
No,
So I'd made all these friends. I'd made all these friends and whatnot. So yeah, it's not like I didn't know these kids, but it's different to being in every class all day with them. So I got moved. So there were 3 boys in the dance class, and then someone came into like a new student came, whose name was Jade. So they assumed it was a girl. It was a boy. So they put him in my old class. So there was 1 boy back there. So they went, "Oh, you were in that class. You go back there." So, yeah.
What?
So I got. This is just year 7. Okay. So I got fast around. We were the mean girls that sat in classrooms at lunchtime because we would like sweet talk the teachers. So we'd sit in the history rooms and be like, yeah, whatever, we're so fabulous and living our life. And then around about year 9, at the end of year 8, I was like, a little bit of a disagreement with the dance faculty about not doing classical ballet, and it's a whole big thing. That's another whole story. I may have thrown a few verbal assaults at some teachers and walked out when they failed me. I was like, deuces. So yeah, then I changed my major to drama, so it's all good. It's all good. So yeah, there was still lots
juicy.
I know, right? There was still lots of faggot and all that kind of things going on. You better believe the school dances were amazing though.
Oh, I can only imagine how good they
Form
were.
the circle. It's like, yeah, let's form the circle and dance it off.
So wait, all of these verbal assaulters that are calling you the F word, what classes are they in?
They're in they're in other. I think our year was probably one of the biggest they'd had up. It was over 120 people. So it was like,
had 12
yeah,
times the amount of students as Jeffrey.
yeah. So there are a lot
Leave
of
my
us.
18 alone.
There was a lot of us, and it was just, yeah. As I said, I think we were one of the last years to have that crossover of general randoms in there,
Yeah,
and
that
they
doesn't
slowly
make any sense.
they died off. Like they died off the music and the drama and all that kind of stuff after year 7 and 8. You had to do it. It was like part of the curriculum. You have to do it, and then they just went and did their boring
that
straight people
sounds
lives.
So freaking awesome. Minus the randos, but the performing part.
Oh, look, it was amazing. Look, we got to go, like, they're like, all right, we're going on a road trip and you're going to perform here. It's like, okay, sweet. You're going to do this. You're going to do that. Yeah, amazing. We really didn't do much work. Like, no wonder I fucking failed my HSC. But that was also because I wasn't there. But yeah, it was lots of drama. We did have, I'll say it. Yeah, fuck it. It's public knowledge. I'll say it. Our principal killed himself. So we had
A's?
wait. So there was a big do you call it? Assault? I don't know. What did they call it? It was grooming. I guess it was grooming, pedophilic grooming with one of the music teachers who was a complete psycho, right? I remember being in music once and we were sitting there and I was talking, surprise, surprise, to the person next to me. He picked up a table because there was another kid being a little bastard. He picked up a table and threw it across the room. But because the school was kind of ghetto at that point, the tabletop came away from the table, swung, went over my shoulder and hit the wall. Yeah. So it turns out he was sleeping with a student.
You almost died.
Yeah,
This
almost
is
died.
crazy scandal.
All right.
This is a TV show.
So he was sleeping with a female student and had been doing so for a long time, and her parents didn't know about it, but other faculty members knew about it. So all of this, he went to jail. He went to jail.
Okay, yeah. How old was she and how old was he?
He was like 40 something, and she would have been 15, 16. Yeah. Like it made national news in Australia. So there was a big trial. And because the principal had knowledge of it but didn't say anything, he himself in the garage at home. You should have been in that school the day that happened. Oh my God. I remember getting to school and I was like, something's fucking weird here. And this was like, oh my God, have you heard? I'm like, no. And I was like, I picked up my Nokia 5110 so quickly. And I was like, everyone get to school as quickly as possible. There is some shit going down.
Your Knocker 5110?
Nokia.
Oh.
Nokia, my Nokia. My Nokia. My Nokia.
What?
Yeah, my Nokia 5110. I was like, everyone get here as quickly as possible. Pulled the aerial up, as you do. Yeah. So from memory, and it could be a little bit hazy, we got the entire, that happened on a Tuesday or a Monday, and we got the entire week off. Everyone's like, oh, go this year. I'm like, fuck that. I'm having the day off. So, yeah, had the day off. I think that was the last scandal thing that happened.
They probably had a publicist after that to sweep some shit under the rug.
Huge.
Yeah, huge drama.
Nuts.
But yeah, and now it's a proper performing arts school. But we've had some great talent actually come out of that school. There was they did have an American version of it at the kids' entertainment show High Five, where it was just like people just singing and doing games. So they were huge here. They were kind of like the Wiggles. Reese Nicholson, who is a stand-up comedian, who is the judge on Drag Race Down Under, went to my school. I'm like, stop. We've got famous dancers and all that kind of stuff. But podcast hosts.
And let's not forget Steve from Uncensored.
Podcast hosts.
What happened was.
Yeah.
Nickelodeon's all that.
This is what I keep saying. This is what I keep saying. I was like, if my teenage self knew that I would one day be like, just shoot the shit with Katrina A Johnson from Nickelodeon's All That, and then Katie Underwood, my little gay body would have exploded and went, woo!
Get it right. Katie Underwood from Pop Stars Bardo.
From Bardo. Gotta do it sexy whispery. So yeah, that was my high school experience. It was, lots of
wild.
Drama.
Tell me about the prom. Did you guys go to the prom? I never got to go to
all
any
right,
of
I need to tell you about our year 12. My year 10, we called them formals here, not proms. So our year 10 formal, we found out one of our friends was pregnant. And watch them have an argument with their boyfriend across train tracks from the function venue going. It was amazing. Yeah, it's like, woo! And then at our year 12 formal.
Wait. What happened with it? Did we go through?
Had the baby. Yeah, had the baby. Definitely had the baby.
Did she stay in school?
Stayed in school. She left, I think that was in year 10. Yeah, year 10. So she left the end of year 10. Had the baby at the end, I think the end of the year, and just finished up.
10, how old are you? 15? 16?
You are probably 16? Yeah, should be 16. So you get your school certificate. You get like a kind of like a GED kind of thing.
Okay.
Not a complete. It's just like you're halfway there.
Mm-hmm.
So then year 12, I got so wasted. that I nearly got hit by a limo on the way in.
Woo!
I was like, "Ah!"
This
onto the road.
bitch.
Yeah, this bitch.
Pre-gaming
And
it.
then I have never you know how like you see graduation parties and stuff in movies and you're like, that doesn't happen. It happened. We found out where our school captain lived. Our entire year turned, because she was having a private little party with her friends. Our entire year showed up at her house, like literally drawing on walls, like people doing beer bongs, all that kind of stuff. Like it happened. I never thought I would walk into that in my life.
Where were her parents?
Not there. Not there. So it was literally like, have you seen Can't Hardly Wait?
That's why everybody showed up. Yeah.
It was like that. I was like, this is fucking bizarre. It was like every American house party movie I've ever seen. I cut myself on a bottle, and then the cops showed up at 1 o'clock, and everyone went and left this house in ruins. It was over.
My god.
Over. Yeah.
How did everybody find out about it?
Well, word of mouth. You guys didn't go to a big high school. Gossip. That's how it happens. Her parents went home. Everyone found out, and it was fucking on.
So what happened after? Did you have any follow up with this party? Like what happened?
No, who gives a fuck? Not my problem. Not my house. Not my problem.
Because movies never show what happened.
No, they never show the next day.
They get grounded, and that's it.
See, I was quite lucky because my parents and my friend's parents were the kind of parents that went, don't care if you drink. We'd rather you do it at home. So we're 15, 16 years old, like getting white girl wasted at my house, doing shots of tequila off the lounge room table with my parents. And just be like, but we like, if anything went wrong, they were there. Do you know what I mean? Like, so there was the saying like, if you're gonna do any drugs, do them at home first because we'd like to know. So we're like,
that happens.
Yeah. I think I had some cool parents looking back.
Yeah,
at
you
it.
did.
I had some cool parents.
My parents were like, "Hey, go to work."
Yeah.
Oh, I had to work.
Jobs.
Oh, I had to work.
My parents weren't that cool, but like homies, his parents, like they were getting fucked up with all their kids pretty young. Yeah.
Ooh, Voldemort.
No, Joey. Like his parents, like you know what I mean. I met him when he was 18. I was 21. He was getting hammered harder than I was. You know what I mean? Like they were drinkers. Their whole family, like they drank all that. Like that's they got left in.
Yeah, I think we were very lucky because if you look back at, like, we're all kind of around the same age, which is good. We had some good fucking role models as to what to expect in the high school world, like Jeff's favorites.
Oh,
yes, Saved by the Bell.
Yes. So I was like, this is what high school's going to be like, right?
I used to
but
party
in a
with
sitcom
Mr.
way.
Building. I used to see him at the club all the time.
I bet you he got down.
He would get wild. We're like, Mr. Building, what are you doing here?
Wild out with Mr. Building.
Why are you here?
He likes to go to karaoke. He goes to karaoke all around his house.
Oh,
I used
stop.
to see him.
But see, I was a little bit too young for this. Well, not too young. I watched it, but it wasn't my reality, but I really wanted it to be. I was like, I was like, oh, like, come on, as if I remember getting my binder and write like Beverly Hills 90210 and sticking like, like that's what life's going to be like, right? We're all going to grow up like that.
No,
unless you loved Misery and you grew up like this. Party 05.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that 90s fashion. Oh, the hat, the velvet hat does it for me.
what happened to all of them?
Nev's making big money doing Scream 5. The others, not so much.
He was
Right.
lost, and then he became like a woman abuser or something, allegedly.
Yeah,
So that's out.
Scott Wolf's just still pretty hot, I think, actually.
So cute.
Redonkulously.
He did that show V, but it got canceled after.
And then there was
what Tammy
Lacey Chabert with Gretchen Wieners. Come on.
Yeah, she was cute
What,
with her lisp. And Jennifer Love Huge Tits.
Oh, don't even. I live
Hey,
for
that's her
Jennifer.
favorite. She's buddy with her, didn't you know?
I love her.
What?
Look at him. He's shitting, bro.
We have to talk later. But I got really lucky because these next two shows fell right in my high school years. I was like, yes, bitch.
Oh,
Buffy the
bitch,
Vampire
Buffy,
Slayer
bitch.
much. I was like, I am feeling the outside of Dream. I'm like, yes.
Yeah, but
Oh.
she's a bitch in real
Yeah,
life.
well, we all know that now. I wonder why.
Listen.
I wonder. Look, after finding out what's going on those sets, who knows?
I wasn't having that show because I grew up like with the movie. All of my friends, we
Yeah,
loved
so
the
did
movie.
I.
So I was not having Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like, to me, she was always Kendall from All My Children. She was Erica Kane's daughter. You know what I'm saying? So I was
Causing
like,
problems.
this bitch ain't Buffy. She got dyed hair. She's not Christy Swanson. Where the hell is Luke Perry? I'm not having it.
But the one show that I kind of was like, oh, and it was pretty much Australia wide. Like, this show took over for a hot minute.
Dawson.
Oh my god!
Oh god!
Break
Everybody
out the
would say,
plaid. Break out
everybody
the
would
plaid.
mistake me for Michelle Williams because we both have a fat round face, blonde hair, and those droopy eyes. And
Hey.
every time I would do an event, people would think I was her, and I'd get so mad.
You're like, well, if you need a sister in a
She
show.
has this situation going on.
Yeah.
These
Yeah.
flappy, droopy. Yeah, that.
Loved that show, but guess who this faggot wanted to be? Jack. Did we catch it when Jack was introduced, the gay teenager? Started out real homely looking, and then one day there was product, and guess who followed suit? Rocked up to school the next day, product, leather saddlebag. Oh, I was fierce as shit. And everyone's like, whoa, that's an overnight transformation. I was like, that's right. I had a she's all that moment. I was like, yes, I will accept the faggotry. I will accept the crown. Let's dance. It
You
was
mean the
good times.
fabulousness?
Yes, that's it. Either way. So as is tradition with these kind of shows, I always feel like we cringe, but then I'm like, well, other people have to have had like some pretty shitty times in high school or some interesting times. You want to hear some high school horror stories?
Hell yes.
Yeah, girl.
Yes.
All right, here we go. I overslept one morning and went into a tailspin to get to school. I couldn't find any clean underwear and hadn't had time to do laundry, so I made the brilliant decision to go commando. And since I was wearing pants, it would be fine. I ran to the bus stop to find one of the cool guys sitting there. I sat next to him and he looked uncomfortable. The bus arrived, and as I was getting on, I realized the zipper on my two big pants was down, and I had been flashing this poor dude the whole time. Now, it doesn't say if this person was male or female.
Bruh, I'm
And
like,
was this person waxed or shaved, or were we going native?
Who knows? Could be Crash Bandicoot up in the bush there.
Woo!
Up in the bush. Number
The bush
two.
could have been out. Berries out.
I was a drum major for my high school marching band. At the end of a particular song, the band members on field would do a small dance move. The following game, I decided to join them for the dance, but I hadn't practiced this move in my conducting platform. Well, I did the first move of the dance, but I stepped too far and fell from my conducting platform, which was 4 feet off the ground. In front of, could you imagine, in front of a whole football game? Over.
That was
Over.
amazing. I would have been dying laughing.
Public humiliation is the best, right?
That's
Yes, it
like,
is.
ooh, that's
My
rude.
favorite.
All right. When I was in high school, I received an award in front of the entire school. I'd been sitting on the floor cross-legged and hadn't realized my leg had completely fallen asleep. When I stood up, I took one step, then dropped like a sack of stones in front of 1,000 high school kids. Everyone laughed at me, so I panicked and pretended I had twisted my ankle pretty badly. I faked the limp for the rest of the day to tell the story. Oh, could you imagine? imagine? That's
Listen,
horrendous.
I hate
Whoa.
that.
Yeah, I could. Yeah.
They
that-
always had us at Catholic school, like we'd be sitting, like they did morning program. We'd sit on the floor, Indian style, for an hour. Like, and then the teacher would be like, come on, we gotta go. And it's like, bitch, I can't move. My leg is out. What do you want me to do?
We used to
Neither
have
way,
school
articulation
assembly.
set
We used to
up,
have
so-
school assembly, right? Which was just supposed to be like, you know, talking about the shit that goes on in the school. Except we're a performing arts school. So they decided that we'll have a performance or two at every school assembly. This motherfucker sometimes went for the first 3 periods of the day. Because people are setting up a band or people are doing this. And I'm like, I'm dying. I'm going to die in this assembly hall. But we had a game in, I think it was like later years where like we would dare, like it was just a dare thing. And I got dared one day to yell Yahtzee in the middle of the school assembly when it was quiet. And I did. I was like, Yahtzee! And I got removed.
Oh.
I was removed. I was no longer welcome in assembly. Is that okay? In high school, I did stats for the wrestling team. On match days, we all had to dress up. One day, I wore a skirt and sweater with dress shoes, which I wasn't used to wearing on slippery school floors. I had to carry this bag of bulky box kit of some sort, and we were all walking down the hall headed towards the meet. With the entirety of the wrestling team behind me, I slipped and fell face first. The kit shot down the hallway floor. My skirt flew up, exposing my underwear to every person on the team. And you know, she was probably wearing granny panties as well.
They were hideous.
She was probably on the period. You know, it was Patty. Why you
There
said Patty?
was definitely some pubes sticking out the bottom.
Oh god. All right, in PE I was coaching someone on a treadmill. I wasn't really paying attention and accidentally stepped on the treadmill, which was almost at the highest setting. I flew off very quickly and landed on the floor with a loud thud. The teacher didn't notice at first, but everyone was laughing. My knees were bleeding and there were red marks all over my leg from where I fell. On that day, I learned to pay attention when I'm on treadmills.
Oh,
Peloton.
That's a fancy school to have treadmills.
Right.
Treadmills, I know.
Thinking that. I'm like, who the hell had treadmills in
Jeffrey
jail?
had a van at his school for people.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did I tell you guys about PE? I didn't. I don't think I have. So we used to, like, the PE teacher used to think like we were all going to be athletes. I'm like, hello, I'm homosexual. Don't make me throw a ball. It wasn't going to work. We did javelin. Yeah. Cut to the teacher saying, don't throw that, don't throw that, don't throw that yet. Me go, ah! And it scraped the back of his calf. I nearly impaled the PE teacher with a javelin. Javelin was no longer available after that.
That's Catholic high school because there wasn't that many kids. Every season would be like a sport because that's all. We didn't have to do anything complicated. But Mike and I, if you ever saw the movie Angus, like that was us. I was obviously the fat one. Mike was the weird looking one, and chaos ensued. But in gym class, like we would just stand there. Like we would not participate like at all. And the dude would get so mad. Like, he'd come out and be like, come on, guys, run. And we're like, no, we're not doing it. Like, I'm not. And he would still give us A's in the class because he's like, it's for you try. You're doing.
I'm going to tell another story. I'm going to tell another story out of school. We were indoors one day playing hockey, I guess you would call it, but with a ball. No, it was hockey because it was a puck, because it was a wooden floor. And my friend got hit in the face with a hockey stick, and her front tooth snapped off. Not nice like yours, like jagged.
There is no nice way.
I know, but you can at least hide yours. Hers is her front tooth. And it was just like, oh, I don't think they played hockey after that either. We used to play a lot of dodgeball.
You're supposed to wear a mask for the hockey.
Yeah, no. And you're not. Oh, also, we played one day. It was raining, and we were like in the assembly hall or the biddy because it was shaped like a giant boob. So it was like it's like a concrete dome. That was our assembly hall. It was very 70s moment. It's gone now, probably because it's full of asbestos or something. And we were running around on the stage when they said, "Hey, don't run around on the stage in the dark." I'm like, whatever, as if that's a problem.
Oh.
So there's a power box at the side of the stage with a key in it that's hanging out. I ran into that. And to this day, on this side of my head, I have a dent in my skull. Like like when we meet in person, I'll be like, touch this dent. You'll be like, what is going on? Because I ran headfirst into the key, bleeding like a motherfucker, saw stars, had to like sit out on the ground, was like, oh fuck, oh that really hurt. And then I'm like, I can't tell anyone because I'm not supposed to be doing this. So luckily the stage led to the change rooms, so I just went and sat in the change rooms and was like, stem the bleeding, stem the bleeding.
Your head, like a
I know, right? Oh, you can't. Okay, hold on. There's one more. I don't know if how well you can see it. I have a little, like, dotty kind of scarry thing here. You can't really see it because I've got lights on. That was from a school-related injury as well. So across the road,
what goes on in Australia?
They don't believe in pets.
They don't believe in kids. They don't believe in kids. They don't believe in kids.
Performing school.
No. So yeah, we would do putt golf, mini putt golf for sport. So I bent down to pick up my ball one day while the girl in front of me was swinging back for her shot. The putter hit me right here. You know how much heads bleed, right? Everywhere.
Was she horrified? Did she think she killed you?
Oh no! Oh, don't even. I went up to the teacher. She's like, the teacher's like, I'll call an ambulance. So I'm there. They called an ambulance, and I went by myself.
What
to the hospital? To the hospital, sitting there in emergency, holding this like thing, bleeding like a motherfucker until my mother got there. I think I got a bit loopy because of blood loss. And they're like, oh, we have to give you a tetanus shot. And I thought for sure they were putting it in my head. I was like, don't let them stab me in the head. Don't let them stab me in the head.
Wow.
Yeah. Ghetto. That's Australian schools for you. No duty of care back then.
It explains so much.
I mean, Jeffrey, your high school experience.
Yeah, I think you had the safe one.
So much.
Look.
Yeah.
That was soccer.
Oh.
I kept passing out in the little lady.
We'll do a couple more of these. In high school, the lines would get pretty long for lunch, and even though there were plenty of lines for food, being at the end of the line sucked because that cut off time from sitting and eating. So I'd basically power walk to lunch. This particular day, I came down the stairwell, skipping steps, and must have been going too fast because I fell when I reached the bottom. Everyone saw me and laughed, and not even my friends would help me up.
Oh, that's
do you want to hear
rude.
I've got another funny story for that one. So our main quadrangle was pretty big, and so you had the English rooms upstairs, the history rooms, geography rooms, blah 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 blah. We were changing classes one day, and one of the girls in my year fell from the top of the stairs down the stairs, fractured her hip. Fractured her hip, and this one girl went to help her because she was St. John's ambulance trained, and Erica, I don't know where you are. I don't know where you are in the world, Erica. I miss you though. You're a funny bitch. Erica screamed into the quadrangle, "Get away from me, you fuzzy-haired dyke!" Funny because it was true. Yeah, funny because it was true. There was many situations like that. And see, this is what happens when you mix the normies with the performing arts kids. The drama kids are like, no, I will not have it. Don't touch me.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. I will finish
You
up
would
this
have been the kid that we made fun of.
me. Whatever.
Yeah. We would have
After
been
class, my friends, my crush, and I would walk outside to get our next class. It had been raining for a week. There was a huge puddle we had to get around. I tried to jump, face planted into it, was drenched from head to toe, had a panic attack in the bathroom shortly after. I skipped 3 classes while I waited for my friends to find me clean clothes. I still cringe about it. My crush thought it was fucking hilarious, by the way.
See, it's
people-
like you said that you like. We couldn't skip class. Like you couldn't get away with it because if somebody was missing, they noticed that.
Yeah, bitch. I used to sit in that main quadrangle. My ancient history teacher would walk past. She goes, "Stephen, are you coming to class now?" I was like, "No, I'll just read here."
Yeah,
No
see,
fucks
we didn't
given.
like we would
No
be
fucks.
gone or whatever, but skipping class we couldn't. But there's one kid, Richie. Every Spanish class, he would come knock on the door about 10 minutes in, and he'd be like, "Mr. Panis, can I see Jeff in the bathroom?" Because he was having girl problems, and I was like his therapist. And Panis knew about it, felt bad. Richie and I'd be in the bathroom for like a half an hour, and he'd be telling me all his woes about his girlfriend, who was like, her sister was there, was all kinds of drama.
Oh, don't even. Our science teacher used to lock us out if we were more than 5 minutes late for class.
That seems fair.
Like
Yeah.
locked out. Like would lock the doors.
They would
and
be
people would be like
fired today.
banging on the door. Yeah, like it was freezing cold. It was raining. It was like let's lock you the fuck out. But the good thing was,
did you ever get hit with an eraser?
oh no, I had a table thrown at me.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah,
Erasers are foreplay, Jeffrey.
Chalk and erasers got thrown a lot by teachers at kids, like, and nobody thought anything. Like we'd laugh. We
Oh yeah, no one cared. No one used to
No.
give a fuck.
No,
like they
because it
used to
didn't hurt.
swear. Like students and parents, teachers would yell at you and swear at you and whatever. They forced me to abseil at school camp. Forced me to abseil. I was like, screaming, crying because I hated heights. They like strapped me up and pushed me down that mountain. I was like, bye. I did it. Yeah. I think I could get some PTSD, buddy. Hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
Definitely.
Yeah, girl. It's like high school. No, it wasn't that bad.
You're the only person I've ever heard of that was forced to go paragliding in fucking high school.
Oh, look.
What
and
is
they said-
Principal killed himself because the
Australia.
teacher was fucking a student. Like,
Yeah,
and
baby. Yeah, baby.
Wild.
we need to
It
write a
breeds-
show about that school.
Breed's great. It's like Fame, but real fucked up. Well, more fucked up. Kind of funny too.
Yeah.
It was good times. We haven't even gotten through high school, and we're already over an hour. So I feel like we have to part 2 this for college because there
Absolutely.
is some stories
Oh,
to
yeah.
tell.
Mhm.
Well, you can talk about life, but I went to university. I know Kat was a college girl, so we have to talk about it. So we'll part 2 this motherfucker.
And Jeffrey's had a few college boys.
Yeah,
I did spend a lot of time.
on campus.
Yes, I did.
Yeah, well, you can talk about your on-campus adventures because I'm sure there's plenty. So yeah, that I didn't realize we were gonna have that much to say about high
That
school.
was fun.
Who knew? So there's more to come, guys. We'll part 2 this motherfucker and talk to you soon about UCR, the college years. Da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. See you later.
When you wake up in the morning.
Miss Stoger, the P. Oh, Jeffrey.
Woo!
You know what I have to say about high school? As if.
Miss Stoker.